What's up? What's up? What's up, boys and girls, Cowboys and Gold Ones with you? Dude, oh my God, we are here. We are here. We are here. Training camp has begun. It began late last week. We are, 5 days into it already? It's insane. I wanted to go live over the weekend. I wanted to wait till after day 1 and 2. The Yankees broke my heart yesterday, so it kind of pissed me off. And you guys deserve all the energy in the world. I got a new chair for this. I got a new backdrop a little bit. Decorated some things half-heartedly because my shelf fell. So my little Troy Aikman pop is now just sitting on my desk next to my Yankees World Series ring. Blah, 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 blah. But a lot to do, man. Like, look at this. My phone is just full of stuff we want to talk about. A lot of today's show is just going to be going through tweets, going through videos, some hot topics that have been going around. We do have a voicemail from a listener to play at the end. I choose one voicemail per show to kind of end things on that manner. Man, before we get started, obviously we'll get to the cold one. We all want to do that on a Monday night because Mondays suck. Last Saturday was my kid's first birthday, and coming in clutch, had to get him the little Cowboys hat, so he's ready for the season. Had to get him the little Cowboys jersey or sweatshirt. And this is my favorite because Dad has one too. The little 88 jersey. C.D. Lamb, who's making a name for himself again in his first official training camp, technically, making plays after plays. Went with the old-fashioned, wore the blue shirt, got the blue headphones on. It's a Monday night, just a night where we just want to grab a beer, chill, Bud Light. Not an ad. That's what we're going to rock with today, just a good old-fashioned Bud Light. Oh, and here we go. I don't drink a lot. I really only, I don't want you guys to think that like, hey, I have a show and all I do is just drink alcohol because that's just not the case. I did it for the show because one, Cowboys make you want to drink when they're good and make you want to drink when they're bad. Cheers. All right, let's get into this. Quickly, just 3 players off the top of my head because each one of these players will get mentioned throughout this because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, blah. Like 14 tabs open from Twitter. Just are great beat reporters. I wanted to be out there in Oxnard. Couldn't make it this year. The hope is next year. But everybody's going to get credit. We're going to look at some videos, just talk about some quotes, things that have really caught the attention of the fan and the reporter's eyes while they're out in Oxnard, California. But 3 players that have really caught my eye just from social media and what everybody's talking about. Randy Gregory, Micah Parsons, and Trayvon Diggs. Okay. So if you look at this, Cowboys Jerry Jones tells 105.3 The Fan, that's the source, that Randy Gregory is his top 2 most impressive guys at the camp. So, I mean, at least Jerry and I agree because it's come to the fact now where Randy Gregory is absolutely looking phenomenal. He looks fast, guys, like really, really fast. He can bend, which we already knew that, but it's his first like real full training camp, it feels like. Every year there was something where he had to sit out or he was dealing with something, and that's okay. I'm glad he got it all figured out. I really am. But are you guys ready for like 8 to 10 sack Randy Gregory? 8 to 10 sacks. Because, I mean, I know I am. I mean, looking at this. Just a little Todd Archer tweet. This came from, 2 days ago. Randy Gregory had a day during practice. He likely would have sacked Dak Prescott in team drills, snuffed out a reverse to C.D. Lamb that would have led to a TOL, and he would have stopped Lane again on a jet read flip. And then a couple other things he talked about. Micah Parsons showed up too. He had an athletic pick on a throw to the flat intended for Tony Pollard. Jalen Smith spent time individual drills working with assistant defensive line coach Leon Lett, working on setting the edge in the run game, which we all know is very important for Jalen. And then just a bunch of other stuff that we're going to get to. That does want me to, I do want to talk about the actual linebacker competition as we move on from the Randy Gregory conversation. Randy's going to keep making a name for himself. I can't wait for preseason because I want to see him play a little bit, because it seemed like every time last year, which we all know is freaking true, he got fucking screwed over by Mike Nolan because they decided they wanted to play Alden Smith 70% plus of the snaps. Randy, when he came back, he barely got into the snaps. And when he did play, he looked fast. I mean, it's that simple. I mean, you look at this with the linebacker competition. This is something that Dan Quinn has talked about that he's going to do after every practice. At least that's what he said in his press conference when he talked to the media. He's talking to Micah Parsons here in this video. It's just a little quick 10-second, nothing special, kind of teaching him things after practice, focusing on pass rush detail. Parsons earlier joined D linemen during the individual drills to get some rush work in. That's the thing that excites me, guys, is that Micah has filled in multiple roles. Like, beyond that, Mike McCarthy, he did say in his press conference that there is a position battle at the linebacker. It's not just what you expect like in years past where, hey, these guys are the veterans. These guys have been here. They know the system. They're going to play. Mike said, in quote, the competition is real. McCarthy said that Micah Parsons has stood out. Okay? So Micah has stood out. He's flying over the freaking field. He's playing all over. He's rushing the passer. He's actually done a good job in the passing game. And he's also getting coaching from Dan Quinn. Look at the linebackers they have. Jalen Smith, is that Dan Quinn's guy or Mike McCarthy's? No. Leighton Vander Esch, is that Dan Quinn's guy or Mike McCarthy? No. Micah Parsons, is that Dan Quinn's guy? Yes. Jabril Cox, is that Dan Quinn's guy? Yes. Con O'Neal, is that Dan Quinn's guy? Yes. So the two starters from last year aren't their guy, isn't his guy. That doesn't mean that Jalen and LV aren't going to be the starters week one, because they will. Mike is going to play a lot. Jabril Cox, Neal will fill in their roles where like a dime set, or they think that their capabilities are best suited. And I think that's completely good. Like, that's what you want to see from especially Jabril Cox and Neal. Like, you don't want to throw Neal out there as a 100% snap playing linebacker in his first year ever playing linebacker, which I don't know if you've seen him, but if you go to Twitter or Instagram or something and just type in Keen O'Neal and look how much he's buffed up. The dude is huge. He looks ready to play the linebacker position. And speaking of Neal, just a little video here. It's about 5 seconds long. If you pay attention closely there, Neal's in the middle, and he kind of just strips Michael Gallup. I mean, nothing big because the pads aren't on. They're not really hitting. But I don't know about you guys. This is like Christmas morning, waking up, seeing training camp videos from our reporters. It gets me excited. Excited. Another thing about the competition, like, we know it's real. And Coach Mike McCarthy said this on Jalen Smith on dealing with competition. And quote, I think he's done a great job. Once again, not only with Micah Parsons, but other guys. Jalen is all football. That's bullshit. McCarthy added Parsons has obviously stood out in his first practice because the competition is real. So again, Jalen Smith is not promised a job. Not at all. Leighton Vander Esch is not promised a job. He's just not. Micah Parsons isn't. He's going out there working his tail off. I mean, the kid hasn't played since 2019. He sat out 2020. His last game was in AT&T Stadium in the bowl game, where he absolutely lit up that Memphis receiver in the backfield. I don't know, man. You look at it, Micah Parsons. I came into training camp thinking if he just plays like 60% of the snaps, and that's pretty high. I'm okay with it. And I know we haven't had pads on yet. I know we haven't had preseason yet. But Micah is like exciting, not just me, everybody on Twitter, the coaching staff, his teammates, the reporters. I'm to the point now where Micah is too freak of an athlete to sit on the bench while Jalen's out there making the wrong read sometimes. Now, I'm not going to be the guy that dogs on Jalen this time. I'm not. Because Jalen Smith deserves a fair scheme. If this scheme doesn't work for him, then he's out the door. But if it does, great. He deserves good defensive tackles. Osa, Brent Urban, can't even think of his name. All the other TTs. Oh, Gallimore. They've all looked good. If they can open a gateway and eat up blocks during the run game, then Jalen has no excuse. If he makes a wrong read, that's on him. But if he can find the read, hit the hole, get a little bit of his speed back to where it was, then, I think it's going to work out for the better. I do. Another little linebacker competition tidbit before we move on. I know this is, I didn't come in here thinking I'm excited for this linebacker competition. I was more excited of the defensive line, the offensive swing tackles, the cornerbacks. Who's going to be 2, 3, and 4? We'll talk about them. But just in general, this is just a little linebacker drill of the linebackers. That was Jalen. That's LVE. Neil absolutely hitting it. Hit it too hard, so he's got to go again. Just with the linebackers, I'm generally curious how they're going to do this. And it's a good problem to have. You have 5 good caliber linebackers, with Micah with a chance to be elite eventually, and that's him right there. Because like I said, you have Neil, Jabril Cox, that aren't even talked about a lot. Then you have LVE, who's looking really healthy and really good. And it's him right there. Like, I want LVE to be out on the field. 100% of the snaps need to go to LVE. I want the next snaps to go to Micah and Jalen. But I want to see Neil in the run game scenario where they know they're going to run. He can sniff it out. He can play those different hybrid roles. And then I want to see Jabril Cox on like a 3rd and 14. We switch it up sometimes. Like a 3rd and 14 to go out there and be the guy that's going to help in the passing game, because that's what Jabril Cox's strength is. Now, if Micah's strength is that too, then he's going to be on the field rushing the passer on 3rd and 14, whether that's from the linebacker position, whether that's from the end. And get this, he lined up one snap to during these training camp practices. He lined up at defensive tackle. So tell me if Mike, I don't know if Micah can really handle that, but imagine just a 4 down lineman of DeMarcus Lawrence, Randy Gregory, Brent Urban or Neville Gallimore, one of these guys, Micah Parsons, Jalen rushing off the edge. And then in the back, you got LVE or Jabril Cox or Neil, somebody. There's just so many things where they can use these guys. And I think that's what you're kind of seeing right now is they have 5 solid linebackers. They're not going to play 3 the entire time. It's not just going to be like this linebacker, this linebacker, this linebacker will continually play. They're going to rotate. They're going to find which scenario best fits this guy. There's going to be guys that play more than the other, but maybe Jalen, Neil, Cox, they all 3 rotate. Whatever it takes to make this defense good again, I don't give a shit. Just do it. Dan Quinn seems like finally the guy that can do it. The players are reacting well to him. Trayvon Diggs said he loves him. Micah Parsons likes him. These guys are saying positive things about Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn's saying all the right things, but it doesn't matter until you get on the field week 1, 2, 3, 4, and you give him a chance to put his defensive sets, his rotations, his formations all into play. Let's see. All right. So cornerback, moving on. talk about the cornerback competition because Trayvon Diggs and now Sean Wright have looked good. Diggs, we're pumped about. That's our CB1. And he needed a big year. When he played last year and wasn't healthy, he looked good. You saw him getting better and better and better. Now, Wright, he was that guy in the draft taken before Trayvon, or before Jabril Cox. Everybody's like, who the hell is this guy? He's making plays, man. Now, we'll show you a video of that here in just a little bit. It's just a little pass breakup, nothing big, just about 3 seconds long. But Trayvon Diggs, we'll talk to the media. Cowboys cornerback Trayvon Diggs said, I got my hands on 14 balls last season. I ended up with not 14 interceptions. That's a problem. How many realistically could have been intercepted? The reporter asked him. All of them. That figure 14 is not from the coaches. Diggs rewatched his own film after the season and counted. That's a rookie coming out of his rookie season, counting every play he played in last season. He got his hands on 14 balls, and a normal guy would be like, if I can get my hands on like 50% of them interceptions, that's great. This guy said he got his hands on 14 balls. He didn't intercept, and he said that's a problem because he didn't intercept all of them. Trayvon Diggs is our guy. Let's go. I'm excited to see him play preseason if he plays a little bit. I'm excited. Gross. I'm excited about Kelvin Joseph because he's looked good too. It's just not a lot talked about him. Anthony Brown, Jordan Lewis. A lot of people are saying, why don't you just throw Wright, Joseph, and Diggs out there and let Brown and Lewis be your guys that rotate in? I'm okay with that, but I don't know if I want that happening week 1. I want Diggs out there for sure, 100% of the snaps, as long as he's injury-free. You need a cornerback 1. You need that guy, and that's going to be him. And then you have Kelvin Joseph, and you have now Sean Wright, which Kelvin Joseph more, maybe Wright in certain situations like a zone or a 3rd and 2nd and long, obvious passing downs, which, I mean, he could probably stop the run well too. I want him out there rotating with Lewis and rotating with Anthony Brown because, guys, we keep forgetting, and I get Anthony Brown is a little bit of the guy that him and Jordan, where it's like, I'm tired of this, same old, nothing's changed. When Anthony Brown was healthy, he did a good job. You got to remember, I can't remember if I remember right, but like broken ribs he played with last year till finally he just couldn't anymore. But I don't know, that cornerback rotation, that's a fun one too. And here's Wright making a play the other day at training camp, and he was doing this consistently, and this is why I was so excited, because Wright was doing it too, but Trayvon Diggs was challenging everyone. He challenged Michael Gallup. He was challenging CeeDee Lamb. He challenged Dak Prescott. There was a little blurb of those two talking. I think it was day 1 of training camp, and they were betting on something already. Trayvon Diggs has that CB1 attitude you need. Watch right here in the right side of the screen. Take this off. He just reads that so well. Like if I can do this in slow-mo. So you see him on the right side. Look where his eyes are right away. He is eyeing right through the quarterback. And that's Dak Prescott, not the best of throws by him. Dak still has the ball. It's released. Wright is going. He could have stayed with the receiver there who's running a screen, whoever 87 is. But he knows where the ball is going. He's going to get the ball, and his wingspan and his height. We made fun of them because, like, oh, why are they drafting a guy just because he's tall? That's so dumb. I've never heard of this cat. The ball's in the air. He's reading it. He's reading it. He's reading it. And this is what you do in a cover 3, cover 2 zone. You find where the ball is going to be. You use that length. He gets up. And he just swats. He goes for the pick, but he runs in the receiver. But more importantly, clean play. knocks the ball away. Not the best throw by Dak Prescott, but my favorite thing is how Wright read the play right away. That's good. We're going to see Wright a lot sooner than any of us probably thought we were going to see him. And that's okay. I'm excited for that. Now, if he messes up, you know what you do? You take him out and you put Joseph in, or you take him out and you put Brown in. You put Lewis in. It's just like the linebackers. The linebackers are more of a known, what am I, Irish? A known commodity. While the cornerbacks, those five, Diggs, 100%, you got him. He's playing every snap. He has to. Then you got Calvin Joseph. You got now Sean Wright. But then you got the veterans and Anthony Brown, Jordan Lewis, who the Cowboys are paying on their second contracts, that you can rotate in. If Brown's playing bad, get him out, put Joseph in. If Lewis is playing bad in the slot, slide Joseph to the slot, throw Wright in. These are just the exciting things that Dan Quinn, it's going to be all up to him. Preseason's going to be fun because, one, I made a tweet. It kind of went a mini viral, I guess. I'm excited to see Jabril Cox play in the preseason, 100%. I'm excited to see Nashawn Wright play. I'm excited to see Kelvin Joseph play against legit NFL competition. I'm excited to see Micah play. Like, no shit, Corey. You're excited to see the rookies. But I'm excited to see other guys. I'm excited to see Brent Urban play. If he can. I'm excited to see these receivers play. Can one sneak through? Because Noah Brown and Cedric Wilson have looked the best they've looked, apparently, according to all the tweets we're seeing on Twitter. There's just so much competition. And Jerry Jones said in an interview himself, I'm excited. You can tell. 22 minutes have been straight excitement for me. Jerry said, these guys are fast. They have an attitude about them. They're ready to go. Not promising a Super Bowl. But this is the team if they stay healthy. Tyron Smith, Leo Collins are out there joking with each other. They look good. They look big and strong. Smith worked on things. You can tell. So did Collins. The whole conversation a year ago at this time. Collins, what the hell are you doing? How are you overweight? He ain't that no more. He is not that anymore. So I'm just so excited, guys. And I keep saying that. I know you are too. That's what makes these podcasts, these videos fun, because you can just yell to the sky and just say, let's go. And the big thing also, by the way, I don't know how we went 25 minutes into mentioning this. There is no limitations for our best player. There is no holdback. He's rolling. He's throwing on the run. Dak Prescott is back, and just a little Dak Prescott to Michael Gallup drill. Nice little throw there from Dak. If we can get it again, what the heck? Oh, my computer just crapped on me. But anyway, Dak's out there just making plays after plays. I think in day 2 when team drills, he went 20 for 28. Pads don't come on until Wednesday, guys. So hopefully you saw that quick one. But that's just one. Dak looks good. He's ready to go. He's rolling to the right. He's rolling to the left. He's making all the throws. He's taking chances. He looks confident, as he should. I don't know if you guys talked. We will talk about Zeke in a little bit. But I don't know if you guys saw the Zeke press conference where some reporter, sorry, I don't know who it was, but they asked Zeke, when you visited Dak in the hospital for the first time post-surgery, what was that like? And Zeke was like chuckling because he couldn't help it. He goes, when Zeke walked in, the first thing Dak said to Zeke was, because he's obviously loopy off the pain meds or whatever he was on. When Dak saw Zeke, he goes, feed me. That's just funny, man. Let's see. 2 more videos. We'll get out of the way here real quick. I hope this show is working for you guys. I appreciate the ones who've been listening loyal since the beginning. We've been doing it for almost 3 months now, which is insane. If you missed an episode, go back and listen to them. We had Kyle Yeomans on one show recently. He was really good. I'm going to work on getting a special guest next week. Let me see here. So coming up this week, I know it's Monday. I'm going to get a guest on sometime towards the end of the week, probably. I'll work on it from training camp. And then the week after, we're not going to go live until Thursday, but we're going to do a show right after the preseason game because the Cowboys play the Steelers in the Hall of Fame game. We're going to go live with a post game. So tell your friends, join me, drink a beer. We'll treat it as a regular season post game to get the feel for how it's going to go. And we'll talk about what we saw. I know some of these preseason games, once you get to the fourth quarter, it's kind of like a snooze fest, but we're Cowboys fans. We don't get tired, especially when it's the first freaking game back of the year. Donovan Wilson breaking up plays. Look how Act 6 looks clean on him. He didn't make the interception. I don't know if he got there a little early or not, but he was going for the ball. That's another cat I'm excited about, man. And speaking of the safety position, that's one thing we do have to talk about. Malik Hooker. Jerry said it's all official. Just he can't officially join the team yet because of COVID protocols until that's cleared, hopefully soon. The guy we were preaching for, it seemed like, what was it? In March, it was for the Cowboys. It was between Casey and Hooker. Well, they chose Casey because of the Dan Quinn background. And now we're bringing in Malik Hooker, and I was the captain. I was one of the captains. I'm sure there was others. But back in November of last year, I said, bring Malik Hooker to Dallas. I'm from Indianapolis. I live in Indy, okay? I live here. My best friend's a Colts fan. He's called the ball hawk for a reason. When he stays healthy, Malik Hooker is a good safety. If you can get 50% of games out of KZ with health, staying healthy, 50% out of Hooker, little rotation, you need safety depth. All of a sudden with Donovan Wilson, Malik Hooker, KZ, Hooker can play both positions. Our safety depth looks pretty good all of a sudden. Okay? And it does. Speaking of Zeke, he is the lightest he's been since his freshman year at Ohio State. And I hope you've seen pictures. He just looks fast. He looks better. I mean, watch Zeke out of the backfield here. I don't know whose fault this was on the defense. I don't really care. I'm just excited about these plays from Dak to Zeke. 2-1-4 back in action here. Pollard goes in motion. I like that. Tony Pollard and Zeke on the field. Dak throws it over the seam. Zeke with the touchdown. That was either Jalen, Dono. Somebody blew a coverage there. Look at that. Tony Pollard, Zeke, fake it to Pollard. Zeke goes up the seam. Little comeback route from the far receiver to draw the cornerback from staying with him on the deep route. Zeke looks good. And he's pissed off at himself. He said it. 100% he said he was pissed off at himself. He looks slim. He looks fast. We're going to see a new Zeke this year. A new Zeke. And I think, let's see. And I don't know if it really matters, but Charles Robinson on the podcast said something about McCarthy really wanting to get back to the running game this year. I don't know how much you could take with that because McCarthy's never been a big running back swing guy. That's why I think Zeke also lost a lot of weight, slimmed down. He wants to help more on the sweeps. He wants to help more in the passing game. He's got a big gain on a screen. There's one video I wanted to show you guys that I don't know if I don't know why I didn't save it. See if I type it in and see if something comes up. Let's see. They're talking about it. Where's the video? Come on, Twitter. Do your thing. Nope, just non-existent. See if I type in Parsons and Zeke. Nope, not there. But whatever. Zeke, he started to run towards his right, towards the right tackle. Saw there was no opening. Immediately stopped, cut back, sprinted towards the sideline, and he was quick. Like, boom, boom, boom. Prime Zeke. Look good. Micah Parsons came out of nowhere after getting baited in towards that side, stopped on his pivot, twisted around, dropped his hips, turned, sprinted, and I think he might have beat Zeke to the sideline. Zeke still got a good gain out of it, but Zeke, he looks good. Zeke's going to shut you freaking people up, okay? Zeke had a bad year. He knows it. You told him on Twitter. He told you guys in the press conferences. He fumbled. He said he felt he left his team down, okay? Zeke looks good. Bounce back for Zeke. Last week's show, I did bold predictions. One of them was Zeke Elliott's going to outrush his rushing yards from his rookie season, which was almost over 1,500. Okay? He's doing it. So when he does, I want you guys to all apologize to Zeke Elliott. Okay? Another thing real quick that might get you a little excited. Neville Gallimore is getting high praise from Mike McCarthy. Like, he looks like a completely different player, and he looked good last year. He's gotten bigger. He's gotten quicker, gotten stronger with a full off season as an NFL player. You expect that. You want that, and that's what he's getting. So Neville Gallimore, he's going to see a lot of snaps at DT. Tristan Hill right now is on the pup with Amari Cooper, DeMarcus Lawrence. Jerry said you won't see D-Law or Coop until after the Cardinals game practicing, which that doesn't bother me at all. It shouldn't bother you. But, yeah. Let's see. And Blake Jarwin, he's looked good out there, but Dalton Schultz is shining out there. He had a year where he was able to run away with the tight end position. I find it so insane because a year ago, guys, we were talking about, hey, I'm pretty sure it might be time to cut Dalton Schultz, just get someone else in there. He's in there as a blocking tight end, and that's it. And I need somebody else. Dalton Schultz sits here, and he dominated. Like, as simple as that. It's a fun competition. I still think Blake Jarwin's the number one, but it's a 1A, 1B. They're both going to see reps. Dalton Schultz is making plays, one-handed grabs. Jarwin's getting up there. And a lot of people are like, well, Dalton Schultz looks better than Blake Jarwin. Oh, no shit. Jarwin just got cleared. And he's able to come and practice. He missed entirety of the 2020 season because he tore his ACL. Like, give him time. But Blake Jarwin's looked good already. It's a good problem to have two good, fast, athletic tight ends. Haven't had that since the prime days of Jason Wynn, it feels like. Or Blake Jarwin, Dalton Schultz, Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, Tony Pollard, Ezekiel Elliott, that offensive line. MVP Dak Prescott. Boy, I can't wait. That offense, there's no excuse. They're not number one in the league. If not a close first to the Chiefs. Okay? Just need the defense to be average. Be average. That's all I ask. Don't be historically bad like last year. Don't be bad. Be average. And let the offense take it, and you'll be good. All right, this is something I'm excited to do. I have not listened to this. I gave you guys a phone number. If you see below on the little roller, is that we give voicemail opportunities. There's a number on there. You can call it. The voicemail is 317-584-6776. I put it out there on Twitter, on Facebook for people to call in. And we do have our first voicemail. This is the one I'm going to choose for this. Let's see what he has to say. I give you the option to ask a question, a comment, a concern, a hot take, or just say hi. So let's see what it is.
Yes, my name is David Stoddard. I am 55 years old. Been a Cowboys fan all my life. Just wanted to say, my phone number 864-608.
I'll give your phone number out.
I'm calling from Fountain, South Carolina. And I heard Jerry make the statement that he'd do anything to win a Super Bowl. Mr. Jones, from what I see, you need to step down as GM and give that job to Troy Aikman. Step down as GM, Jerry. Get that job to Troy Aikman, and you will win the Super Bowl. Thank you.
Guys, he means well. He does. I appreciate the call, man. I do. I'm not making fun of you. I'm just saying it's not going to happen. Like Jerry, especially now, he's almost 79. Jerry is not giving up the GM title, nor why would Troy Aikman want it? He's making all that money as the lead analyst on Fox. If anybody was going to get GM, it'd be within the organization. Will McClay would take it over. But why would Jerry Jones never given up GM? Why would he do it now? Well, he's not going to. It's not happening. Jerry did have a pretty good press conference to open up training camp. He was very emotional. He admitted that he was wrong with Jimmy Johnson. How he goes, I don't know how I effed that up. We've seen Jerry emotional before, but never in that magnitude. And there's nothing wrong with him, I don't think. Knock on wood. I think he's just also realizing, like, hey, I'm almost 79. He wants a Super Bowl bad. He wants one bad. And he did say in that press conference he would do anything to win another Super Bowl. Well, how about this? You paid Dak Prescott. You did that. Now it's in the hands of the coaching staff. You gave them an elite offensive roster. That whole front office did. You did. And players are back healthy. Defensive-wise, you basically said we're changing everything. Obviously, it wasn't just a scheme thing with Mike Nolan. It was also a player problem. That's why you saw the Cowboys draft all their picks, or a majority of their picks, defensive players. They went out and they got Casey. They're about to sign Malik Hooker. Like, if they drafted Micah Parsons first round, it would have been probably one of the two cornerbacks. What the heck? Hold on. That's creepy. Anyway, don't know how that happened. I think this place might be haunted. Don't know. Anyway, yeah, whatever I was saying, like Jerry's not giving up the GM role. Like, why would he? I wouldn't. Speaking of Troy Aikman, though, he did stop by the training camp the other day, and he said this to reporters. Troy Aikman said, I think he's the best at it. I honestly do. I put him in a category and a handful of players in this league as far as that goes, what he represents for the franchise, for our league, the type of person and teammate he is. I was telling Jerry when I was visiting with him that I really haven't been around many players, either as a broadcaster or as a player myself, that carry themselves the way that he does. I think the Cowboys are really fortunate to have someone like him representing the team. Troy Aikman is talking about Dak Prescott and his leadership. And that's true. So, say Jerry doesn't do anything right. He just signed your quarterback, who Troy Aikman thinks is one of the best leaders he's ever seen as a broadcaster or during his playing days. And he was around a lot of good ones. So, yeah, Jerry's not giving up GM. He just can't. He won't. Like, it wouldn't happen. If you told him, hey, like if he made a deal with the devil, is kind of what Jane Slater was asking him. If the devil came up to him and said, hey, here's the deal. You give up GM, you'll win a Super Bowl. He'd do it. He's not selfish, guys. Like, Jerry cares more about the Cowboys than you and I do, and we care a lot. He cares more about it than Stephen Jones. He cares more about it than Mike McCarthy, Dak Prescott. And Dak obviously loves that team and loves that franchise and organization, but this is Jerry's baby. Jerry is going into the Hall of Fame as soon as he wants to. Like, or he already has been. But he's just going to get honored and honored everywhere. The day, sadly, hopefully not soon, he passes away, every NFL team will honor Jerry Jones. Everyone. Because Jerry has been a gateway for so many teams like the LA Rams. He's done so much, like the Las Vegas Raiders. It just goes back and more stories that I don't even know because I'm 25 years old and I don't know all the history of what Jerry's done. All I know is that dude went from being an Arkansas oil farm boy to buying the Dallas Cowboys. And he got emotional about it. He's allowed to do that. I would also do anything for a Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl win. Anything within reason that doesn't put anybody at risk. I want that so bad. Look, I was born in 1996, okay, in August. The Cowboys won their last Super Bowl in 1996, that February. They have not won one or been relatively close to winning one with an NFC championship game since I've been alive. I'm waiting. You're waiting. They're all waiting. Cowboys Nation is waiting. And I know it's only training camp, first couple days. Preseason hasn't even started. But let the road to a Super Bowl begin. We'll be on later on in the week. Hopefully we can get a guest on. Subscribe, like, comment. Comment your favorite beer, whatever you were drinking with me. Enjoy your Monday night or whenever you're listening to this, whether you're the audio people or it's back during a playback. So, again, a lot of Cowboy stuff we just went over. A lot of stuff to get excited about. The linebacker competition, the cornerback competition, and everything in between. As always, how about them Cowboys?